The pinnacle of flawless films. The Godfather is the pinnacle of flawless films. The first time I viewed The Godfather I was in my early teens and it was the most astounding film I had ever seen, and has since then stood as my all-time favorite film. It is due to this that I have been looking forward to writing a review of this unforgettable classic. So let's start from the beginning. The film opens to 4 words, "I believe in America." It's crazy to think that this simple line has become a resonant quote solely due to the impact it made on the entrance to the film's threshold. This is just one of the many renowned quotes that litter the film, and believe me, there are a lot. After the first take we are then absorbed into the life of Vito Corleone, brilliantly portrayed by the Oscar-winning performance of Marlon Brando. Vito is a feared man, he is a criminal, he is a mafioso, but above all he is a respected family man. His 3 sons are depicted by 3 excellent actors, James Caan, John Cazale and Al Pacino, as well as his adopted child Tom Hagen, played by Robert Duvall. The film follows Vito as he attempts to transfer his crime empire to his reluctant son, Michael. With some of the most graphic and gruesome death scenes to have ever been seen in the 1970s film industry, including a certain horse's head, The Godfather epitomizes how violence can be used effectively within a film. The Corleones are some of the greatest anti-heroes to have ever been seen on screen. Whilst they are villains, the audience will refuse to accept that fact. Coppola does something simple and audacious: he takes the guilt out of organized crime. A film rife with beautiful cinematography, memorable musical scores and well-paced action and drama. Overall, The Godfather is one of Hollywood's greatest critical and commercial successes that gets everything right, a gangster flick that is overflowing with life, rich with emotion and subtle acting, and further blessed with amazing direction from Francis Ford Coppola. Arguably the most unforgettable masterpiece to have ever been made. For me, this is the definitive film. This isn't just a beautifully crafted gangster film. Or an outstanding family portrait, for that matter. An amazing period piece. A character study. A lesson in filmmaking and an inspiration to generations of actors, directors, screenwriters and producers. For me, this is more. This is the definitive film. 10 stars out of 10. This movie has haunted my life. I love this movie and all of the GF movies. I see something new every time I have seen it, countless truly. The story of tragedy and little comedy that exists in this film is easily understood by people all over the world. This film has been called an American story, however I have met others who have seen this movie in other languages and they seem to have the same love and appreciation for it that I do. I love the characters and all of the different personalities that they represent, not just in families but in society itself. It seems like the entire cast is part of every other movie that I love as well. The sounds, music, color and light in the film are just as much a part of the film as the people. This could be attributed to the method in which it was filmed. At many parts of the film I can still find myself feeling the emotions conveyed in the film. I never tire of appreciating this film. I thank God that FFC is an American treasure. We are fortunate to have him. Extremely overrated. An overlong and slow film that may have seemed better 50 years ago, but is now boring and very dated. Marlon Brando's makeup looks so fake and the obviously Jewish James Caan is badly miscast as an Italian American. The restaurant meeting would never have happened in reality. Sollozzo tries to kill Vito, and then just a few days later Michael is just going to sit down and have dinner with him. Lol. In any case, Sollozzo would have known the police captain had to remain on call 24 hours a day. McCluskey would have given a false location, rather than the restaurant, to the police. Overrated. I have never been able to watch this movie to the end, tried to watch it a couple of times and fell asleep every time. I think this film is just too long and boring. I can't understand how can someone think it's the best movie ever. GOAT movie. Simply the greatest movie of all time. It is a must-see spectacle. Flawless acting and presentation, truly a masterpiece in every way possible. A film that must be seen by everyone. Best movie of all time. The Godfather is one of the best movies ever. It has an excellent story with an excellent mafia atmosphere. And since I love the mafia theme, I fell in love with this film. It's unbelievable how well the film is made, and it's a 1972 film. The actor Al Pacino, who played Michael Corleone, performed a perfect job, and the Godfather himself is definitely worth mentioning. Overall, all the actors did an excellent performance here. There are a lot of legendary scenes. The scene in Italy is one of the best and maybe the best scene of all the movies ever. There is also a soundtrack, which is masterful, and it is one of the best soundtracks ever. Also maybe the best ever. The Godfather is masterpiece, and it's a must-see movie. An excellent mafia original, but a little overvalued. This classical story of a mafia family is classified as one of history's greatest movies, and without surprise, The Godfather truthfully lives up to the continuous reverence it deserves and thankfully receives. It's very long, but it's seriously an amazing crime tale guaranteed to keep you absorbed. However, some audiences will certainly ask what elements are placed throughout this 70s drama to collect such extraordinary fame. Well, the talented Al Pacino delivers a simply phenomenal performance in this love letter to fans of crime classics, executing the son of the head of a mafia family who is provided with his father's role. All the other actors and actresses are stunning, too. Another factor of the film that's entirely unthinkable for someone to dislike is definitely the classical soundtrack and theme. A lot of credit needs to belong to Nino Rota, who intelligently wrote the stylish music. But wait, there's much more. Obviously the stunning visuals are lovable and so are the on-screen actions, but behind the camera, Francis Ford Coppola is responsible for the direction. Plus, even though you've probably heard it more than a billion times, The Godfather is incredibly entertaining and a must-watch for mafia movie lovers. See this masterpiece in the cinema with popcorn, in which you'll sense its effect all around you. But prepare yourself for the nearly 3-hour runtime, because it isn't quick. It's also a little overhyped. The Godfather. This film is definitely an important step in the world of cinema. The acting is great, the plot is great, everything about it is great. I, however, do not consider it to be one of my favorite films of all time. A very enjoyable film, no doubt, but in my view not something I'd put in my top 10. A bit dated, but still engaging. The movie follows the rise, or fall, depending on your perspective, of the son of a crime family boss. It's a relatively enjoyable long and drawn-out movie. Though it moves at a fairly slow pace, it keeps the viewer engaged. I can see why it is so beloved. It features carefully crafted characters with detailed character arcs. However, I don't find it as engaging, or rewatchable, as contemporary films. It's worth a watch, after all, it's considered one of the pinnacles of movie making, but I can't say it's for everyone. GOAT Godfather. I wish to give 1,000 stars. Epic movie. I have always loved movies on mafia and underworld. This movie is the rarest diamond amongst all. Extremely interesting, enticing, thought-provoking. What else can be the benchmark for a cinema industry? This movie calms you, makes you feel joy, makes you think of sensible upper class dealing with organized crime, way of handling situation like a gameplay, astounding personality representation, makes your heart pound faster, your pulse rate, sweat and relief. The way this movie presents the reason for existence of mafia world, the beginning of it, the balance, the fall, everything just is so heart-touching. Unbelievable. Thank you for giving us such wonderful movie experience. Masterpiece. Boring. Overrated movie. Not even in my top 1000 movie. I felt so sleeping while watching it and felt that I just wasted 2 hours watching it and decided to stop. Sets a very bad example. Such a boring movie. I'm a very well-established psychiatrist and I was disgusted and bewildered by the lack of care the characters had for themselves in this film. What on earth was Michael Corleone doing not taking antidepressants? Michael was a very depressed character, and the fact he didn't seem to take any antidepressants in this film baffles me, as I thought that would have been obvious for him to do. Antidepressants may be undertested a lot and may frequently make people infertile, but it's totally worth it if it means stopping a potential suicide of someone like Michael. I'm disgusted with this movie and my heart ached for the autistic man known as Michael Corleone to get help and good drugs from a pharmacy in this movie. Class. Just pure class. Nothing much to say than the film of all films. Recommend everyone. The best of best. It is my favorite movie. Many of my friends said it is not good, but I like this style movies and I think it is the best one. This movie is not only about crime but also shows us what is the family and what is loyalty. My view. Most amazing movie, one of my fave all the time. I don't know how many times I've watched this movie, but you can watch it over and over again. Okay movie. I find this movie a little bit boring at some part, but you will enjoy it if you like gangster thriller type movie. A classic movie. The acting in this movie is top class. I enjoyed this movie, basically due to those top class acting. A masterpiece of cinema. A thrilling film that explores the Italian mafia and reveals its codes and rituals. Its rhythm, the lights, the omerta, the climate of tension contribute to plunge us into the heart of this microcosm known only by initiates. Many scenes such as the assassination attempt of Vito Corleone and the aftermath are so striking that they remain engraved in us as "do not tell me that you are innocent because it is an insult to my intelligence and it makes me in a bad mood." A pure timeless masterpiece to see and see again. Best mafia film of all time. It has everything, fancy. The betrayal of a normal mafia film. But it is better. The ways the story goes satisfied, and the end, I mean, wow. Everything is perfect. Only one thing I don't like, that too much character, it hard for me to remember all.